Evening folks, evening. Welcome back to the channel. Why have I got 15 million things lit up where my sound is? I don't know. I've got 27 media files open that are all at full volume, but there's nothing playing. Anyway, we're back tonight for round 2 of the Mini Martini League, hosted by DMK Racing, or DSC. That's DMK Sim Racing, over there on Facebook. So if you fancy getting yourself involved, get yourself over to Facebook and search out DSC Sim Racing or DSC Community, DSC Broadcasting in the chat there. Evening. So make sure you go and check that out if you want to get yourself involved in this. These minis, you'll see, are a bit bonkers, especially the first race. So it's 3 different races tonight. We start with the 1965 old school mini. They're the handfuls. So we start with a little 10-minute race there. We've got a qualifying which is just about to start but hasn't yet, and then we jump into the 10-minute first race with that 1965 mini, and then we go for reverse grid second race into the 2005 Mini Coopers, and then we follow on from that. Now remind me, is that a 15-minute race for race 2, or have you kept that one at 10 minutes? We'll come back. And then we jump into race 3. So the race 3 is in the new VGT Mini. So as we go throughout the evening, the cars will get a little bit quicker, a little bit easier to handle, maybe. And we'll have 3 races tonight. So let's have a look at points so far. So, leading the way in the 1965 minis, we've got Treviso with 25 points, Hatalad in second with 20 points, DMK Chalky 12 with 18 points in third, DMK Dazzler 67 in fourth with 16, in fact joint fourth with Janio also with 16 points, DMK Aldo in sixth with 12 points, Old Crawler 7th with 10 points, we've got RC MBE 2 in 8th with 9 points. We've got Faithless, who didn't start the first race because his car's OP, which means it's overpowered. It's got wide body kit on, which makes it, I think, handle a little bit better. There we go. Just in the chat, look, race 2, 15 minutes, race 3, 20 minutes. Right, okay, so race 1 is 10 minutes. So minis, that's points, and as you can see, they've got why is Hatalad first and first with Treviso on that sheet? I don't know, but that's points for the 1965 minis. Right, I need to remember which way to turn these off. Haha, the right way. If we jump into the 2005 minis from last week, RC MBE 2 taking the win in that race last week. 25 points on board for him. Hatter taking another second with 20 points. Treviso coming in third in that win with 18 points. Janio fourth with 16 points. Again, right alongside Faithless Emo, who did manage to join that race. So also with 16 points in the 2005 minis. Aldo in 6th with 12 points. We've got Chalky in 7th with 10 points. Old Crawler in 8th with 9 points. Dazzler in 9th with 8 points. And we've got Dominator in 10th with 7 points. So that's the 2005 minis. And then we jump to the VGTs. Treviso taking another win last week in those. 25 points on board. Hatter 3 seconds in a row. 20 points on board for him. Faithless Emo coming in third in that race. He takes 18 points. RC MBE 2 taking 4th, so he comes home with 16 points. Janio 5th with 14. Chalky in 6th with 12. Aldo in 7th with 10 points. We've got Dazzler in 8th with 9 points. Old Crawler in 9th with 8 points. And Dominator in 10th with 7 points. Right, where's that one gone? That's the one I need. So overall, these are the top 5 power ranking drivers. Whoever scored sort of the most points so far in the championship. And it is Treviso on that top spot with 68 points. Hatalad nipping his heels with 61 in second. Janio in third with 46 points. We've got RCMBE2 in fourth with 41 points. And Chalky in fifth with 40 points. So lots to play for. Long season. Only, excuse me, only just started this league. It's taken a long time coming, but, you know, we're here now. And it has been great to watch so far. Again, only one round, but it has been a great event so far. Right, t-shirts and stickers still available, people, to email darksmoker@googlemo.com. Yeah, you know, it's in the chat, it's in the description if you want any of that. darksmoker@googlemo.com. Lobby sound on, so we're not all silent. Qualifying just started, so let's get ourselves in. There is the man leading the way, Treviso. Let's get some nonsense on. So a 10-minute qualifier here at Watkins Glen. I assume we're going for the longer course in the VGTs. I could be wrong. That has seemed to be the format throughout the series. Looking at the instructions I had, we're going for shorter races in these little 65 minis, because as you can see, they're doing 73 miles an hour top speed up here. Apart from Chalky. Chalky's done something. Why is Chalky at 88 and everyone's at 75? Oh no, they're picking up speed now. I suppose it is still outlaps. No need to thrash it round on an outlap. You're not going to gain anything from that. Not too much here at the Watkins Glen short course to talk about. Can be tricky again in these 65 minis. They're not the look. This is why they're a handful. There's going to be some great racing again. Going to be 9 wide coming into some of these corners. I can't wait. Because there's nothing you can do to get away from the driver behind. Right, let's stay on board with Aldo then. Look at possibly any kind of chaos with these few drivers in front. Crossing the line then down towards turn 1, 90-degree right-hander. We have got Pajonski firing his way up the inside through turn 1. Oh, goes a little bit wide but carries the speed. There's that 90-degree right then, down towards this almost 90 right, dipping down the hill and back up. Little left-hander at the top of the hill. Absolutely full tilt through here then, these minis. That little chicane, not that it's a chicane at these speeds. Going pedal to the metal down this little short straight to the bus stop. See all the cars weaving to the right in a second. Oh, there they all go. Tiny lift for Aldo through there. Or Janio picking up a penalty through that one. So even though this is qualifying, this is pretty much what the race is going to be like. Just little minis darting about all over the place, looking for a way past the next mini. It's going to be great. So through that right hand, almost hairpin. Full speed down towards this left hand, carrying good speed through here as well. Absolutely pinned through there for Aldo. Down towards this final turn, 90-degree right-hander back onto this start-finish straight. There it is, Watkins Glen. So look at that, these cars all still together. Nobody's made it, you know, a couple of little mistakes here and there. You've seen cars darting left, right and centre, but here they all go right back together again. And this is only qualifying. Thank you, Aldo. Long track for VGT. Yes, thank you, DSC Broadcasting. Janio deciding he's going to go to visit some of the marshals over there. So let's have a look at some times then. Oh, as had a lap or two now. Treviso on top spot with a 1:38.2. Little penalty he's got to lose. Pajonski in second, 1:38.4 on the clock for him, trying to get as much of a toe off RCMBE2 up there as possible. RCMB2 in third, 138.5. Chalky in fourth with a 138.8. Aldo fifth with a 139.2. Crawler penalty to lose in sixth at the minute with a 139.4. Got Dazzler seventh, 140.2. His outlap was quicker than that. Hattelad in eighth with a 143.0. He's gone for the full bronze tonight, and Janio just losing his penalty there, 139.6. Oh, sorry, his outlap was faster again, but he has just lost that penalty. So 5 minutes into qualifying, Treviso, is that into the pits? Yes, Treviso into the pits then, going for. Do you need fresh tyres, Treviso? What are you doing, Treviso? I've got tyre wear on, I don't think. What's he playing at? Come on, Treviso. So Pajonsky coming through then, taking that top spot, finding himself now with the second penalty, but does gain that fastest lap so far, 137.4. Puts himself on pole for the time being. Just over 4 minutes left of this qualifying session. Sorry, RCMB2 and Pajonsky firing their way past Treviso. Oh, look, Aldo, Dazzler, Hattelad, all pretty close. Yeah, if you watched last week's race, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It was bumper to bumper action throughout. Like I say, even in this qualifying session, they're still looking to have a bit of a race, trying to go four wide into this left-hander coming up here. Ooh, a little bit of contact between a couple of those drivers. Again, just got to be careful. It is only qualifying, boys. I'm not saying a lot of it's their fault, you know, coming around some of these corners at some of these speeds. These cars just might not be doing exactly what they want. Treviso pitting again. You trying to take a quick lap through there, trying to find a little shortcut through there and ending up coming in the pits every lap, Treviso. Is that what's happening? Yeah, nobody else pits, so we haven't got fuel or tyre wear on. I don't know whether you're trying to get a bit of a sneaky line through that final corner, but it thinks you're going in the pits, maybe. So Pajonsky is still rolling about with that second penalty, but still on pole position. 2.5 minutes remaining. It's Treviso again, look, just pootling round. Pootling. Dazzler coming up to lose that penalty. Oof, Janio stretching it through there. RCMBE2 now picks up a penalty. Yeah, I thought Janio might do that. It's a little bit of a shortcut there, my friend. That's going to be great. It's like little wasps tearing about all over the place. It's almost go-karts. Make sure you all stick together for race one, boys. There you go. You see Pajonsky, Chalky, Treviso and Hattelad all going through there this time. Getting a penalty for it, so yeah, not sure what was happening to Treviso. Just decided maybe to enter the pits a couple of laps. Pajonsky finding himself with a penalty now. Janio with a penalty as well. Into second then, 137.4. Janio in third, even with a penalty, 137.5 he's got, pushing Dazzler along this straight at the minute. Hattelad in fourth, 137.6. Got Aldo 5th with a 1:37.8. Old Crawler in 6th. Look at it, look at it. 1:37.8 on board for him. We have RCMBE2 also been in the pits. No lap to show, but in 7th. Treviso 8th. Also been in the pits. 1:47 on the clock for him at the minute. And Chalky in 9th. 10 seconds left of qualifying then. Who's up front? It is Aldo, followed by Dazzler. So that will be qualifying done by the time they hit the line then. 10 minutes ticks over, final lap. It is still Pajonski on pole though. Aldo not able to beat him. Janio. Oh, Hatter and Treviso all both coming through right at the end. Hatterlad taking pole though, 1:37.1 right at the end. And a drag race down there to take the pole off of Treviso, 1:37.3 for him. Pajonski gets nudged down to 3rd on that 1:37.8. Dazzler comes in 4th then, Janio 5th, Aldo 6th, Old Crawler 7th. RCMBE2 in the pits in 8th and Chalky in 9th. There he is, Mr. Bronze, going for gold. Treviso must have been pretty much bumper to bumper, sorry, door to door coming down that start finish straight to try and get that pole position. Now then, who do we go on board with? Who do we go on board with for the start of the race? Do we start from the front and look backwards, or do we start at the back and look forwards? What do you think? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking either there or maybe there from the back. Or maybe there from the front. What do you think? What do you think? Ooh, dent there, Hatter. Both managing to overtake Janio when none of you have got any control over how much throttle you put in, really, have you? Are you just maffing? Are you just messing, you lot? Or rolling, cruising? Mini bros. So there are official results then. Hatter on that pole position, Treviso 2nd, Pajonski 3rd, Dazzler in 4th, Janio 5th, Aldo in 6th, Old Crawler 7th, RCMBE2 in 8th, and Chalky on his own page there in 9th. I'm staying like this. So revs are up then. I don't see any lights. I'm in the wrong view for that. I hear the beeps though. Let's get race 1 underway. These minis peel out then. Nobody having a bad start. Everybody looking for a tow then. Hatterlad peels over, trying to cover off any kind of slingshot down the inside into turn 1. Drop as much of the tow as possible. Here we go then. The wobbles start. Treviso and Hatter actually pulling a good gap away from everybody else. No chaos and mayhem just yet. Treviso all over the back of Hatter though, running up here, but Dazzler's under some pressure. Janio right behind him. Aldo. Pujonski, RC MBE2 pretty much bumper to bumper. He's had to back out of it. Whoa, RC MBE2, Pujonski side by side through there. RC MBE2 carries good speed, as does Old Crawler. Whoa! Old Crawler gets a little tag on the rear. Saw that fishtail round, you can see him still holding on to that going that turn, just absolutely hung it through there. Old Crawler, great bit of driving, managed to stop it ploughing into the wall at least. Wow, amazing. It's always good, these things. Right, on to Janio then in fourth, right over the back of Dazzler, and we can still see the race for first in front with Hatterlad and Treviso. Keep it out of the wall, yes, well done. Dazzler and Janio both pull a little bit of time on Treviso. They are all starting to pull away from Aldo in fifth then. Went for the little bit of a bump draft but backed off a little bit close to the corner to go for that. Might have ended up sending Dazzler a little bit too deep. Everybody almost off track, but now the bump draft starts. Boink! Sending Dazzler up the road, but getting his slipstream as well, which is pulling Janio along. They're all getting closer to Treviso and Hatter up here. Pulling bigger gaps now. About 0.6 of a second they've pulled from that battle behind. Let's go and have a look at that, because that's still kicking off. Chalky then holding on to fifth. Pujonski sixth. Aldo in seventh. RC MBE2 in eighth. Ooh. Aldo and Pujonski. A little bit of love tap coming into this turn. Is Old Crawler trying to get himself back into it. 3.1 seconds down at the minute. Closing 2.9, 2.8. Have we got catch up on? Have we got catch up on? Old Crawler is getting right back into it. And here we go. Hatter under all sorts of pressure now. Treviso, Dazzler, Janio. Whoa! Treviso had a little look up the inside around this turn. Wasn't quite able to make that yellow Mini fit. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Look at this. Board with Janio then. You can see Hatter and Treviso having a little look at each other just in front. Treviso goes for the move up the inside. Turn one. Can Hatter get him back? No, he can't. Janio pushes Dazzler towards Hatter. Hatter going for a move back on Treviso up the hill. Carries good speed past him actually. Hatter. Oh, Dazzler. Oh, looking to try and tuck himself into the gap between Treviso and Hatter. A little bit of bumping going on through here. Janio doesn't care who he's bump drafting. Go on. Oh no. Backs off. Avenue Treviso. Goes through then. Treviso has to slot himself into fourth. Look at this, bumper to bumper. Dazzler also getting his way into P1 ahead of Hatter. And I don't just want to stick with these four, because I'm sure they're having a punch up behind this lot as well. Here we go, look, Chalky, RC MBE2, Pujonski. Oh, these are all going to break up now as well, unfortunately, due to the penalties. 2 seconds each for RC MB2 and Pujonski. Aldo's got to try and make his way through the chaos there as these two slow down and try and avoid each other. There is Old Crawler back in the fight into 7th. Simple as that. From 3 seconds down. Back in the fight. Pujonski and RC MBE2, after both losing their 2-second penalty, are bumper to bumper, the twins. Top four then broken apart a little bit. Janio now has found his way into the lead of the race. Treviso second, Hatter third, Dazzler fourth. Gap's just opening up. Dazzler's got to be careful. Doesn't want to drop the toe. Not sure if catch-up is on. I hope a catch-up is on. Cat, evening. Chalky in 5th then. He's got a little bit of a gap either way between himself and Dazzler, and Aldo, sorry. fight at the back has broken apart a little bit. Old Crawler is actually closing back up on Aldo though. Can Pajonsky and RC MBE2 get themselves back involved? Almost 6 minutes into race 1. It is only a 10-minute first race. Top 3 back together. Janio, Treviso, Hatter. Unfortunately, Dazzler is off the pace now. 1.4 seconds back. Janio with a penalty. He's going to lose the lead. It's a full second. Hatter and Janio are going to come storming by him. He ghosts out as they carry on. Now is Dazzler going to repay the favour? Janio has given him a bit of a nudge down the track earlier on. Not this time. He's carrying far too much speed to help Janio out on that occasion, but maybe Janio can pick up the toe. Hatter and Treviso, you can't even see Hatter, he's that close to him. Chalky out on his own. Aldo coming under threat from Old Crawler. Pajonsky with another penalty here. Half a second, and RC MBE2 carrying good speed past him. He comes into 8th then. Pajonsky's got to push, try and get that position back. He's going to lose half a second plus when he comes round to that back straight. Hatter then gets into the lead of the race, but picks up a second penalty. Where are you boys picking that up? Is that for turn 1? You're running wide at turn 1? It's bad, lads. It's cheating. Whoa, Treviso. Hatter trying to go defensive in that Mini, but the track's so wide here. You can get 4 or 5 of these things. Oh, look at this, side by side through the bus stop. That's brave through there. You wouldn't do that in any other car, I'll tell you that. Both drivers with a second penalty though. So Hatter's going to lose it this lap. Looks like Treviso's got away with it. He won't have to lose his this lap. He will lose his next lap. So Treviso will take the lead of the race. 4th and 3rd coming back together though. Janio did pick up the toe off of Dazzler. And now pushing him back down this straight towards Hatter. Chalky still out on his own. Old Crawler gets himself into 6th but picks up a penalty. Aldo 7th. RCMBE2 in 8th, 3 seconds behind Aldo. Pajonsky loses his penalty, now 1.2 seconds back from RCMB2. So Treviso now will have to lose his penalty. That'll allow... Oh, look at this. That's a little bit of contact between Dazzler and Hatter. Janio carries good speed through there as well. Again, these Minis, just bumper to bumper action. You need to make these things a 40-minute race or something. So can they close the gap down on Treviso before the end? We've only got just over a minute. He's got a second penalty to lose here. He's got 1.7 seconds lead. Hatter in 2nd. Doing whatever he can to close the gap and defend from the 2 drivers behind, Janio and Dazzler. Bit loose through there. They get a tiny bit of air coming out of that one. Oof, Dazzler taking a tight line through the bus stop. He's got to be careful. He might pick up a penalty with that. So here we go then. Treviso coming up to lose his penalty. Where's that going to put everyone else by the time he's lost it? There he goes, trying to get back up to speed. These boys absolutely sending each other past him. A little bit of bump drafting on the way through. There it is, as quick as that. Treviso goes from 1st with a 1.7 second lead into 4th, 0.8 of a second. Well, a full second behind Dazzler now. 1.9 seconds behind race leader. Penalty system not the fairest in this game. So this will be last lap for these boys, but we have got Treviso. No, he didn't get a chance to finish that lap. He crosses the line, takes 4th position. What a shame for him. Chalky comes home in 5th, Aldo 6th, RCMB2 in 7th, Old Crawler in 8th and Pajonsky in 9th. It was just the top 3 that managed to get through. Janio and Hatter side by side then as they run up the hill. Everybody looking for the win here then in race 1. And it's anybody's really. I mean, even Dazzler, he's a little way back, quarter of a second, but again, you know, gets the toe up of here, just waits for these 2 to have a little bit of a ding-dong and stays out of trouble. we go. They're going to be 3 wide when they come across the line. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Janio and Hatter. Dazzler trying to carry the speed through. Janio, ooh, nearly. Dazzler almost up the inside of the pair of them. Janio picks up a penalty, but he won't have to lose that this lap. He will get penalised when he crosses the line, though. 2 corners to go. They're 2 wide at the minute. Can Dazzler get himself in there? Hatter's still leading. I think it is going to be Dazzler in second with that penalty from Janio. Trying to go up the inside here. Everybody's trying to go up the inside there. Janio with a bit of a better run, has he? No, it is Hatterlad that is going to come home and take the win. I'm not sure what it's going to be between Dazzler and... Oof. It was Dazzler. Hatter did take the win then. Dazzler did come home in second. Janio took third. Again, he did take a full second penalty as well across the line, so that penalises him anyway. But yeah, unlucky Treviso. Unlucky, brother. I thought you were going to have a last lap's attempt-a-thon at getting that top spot back, trying to claw it back anyway. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. And no, denied that last lap punch-up with the 3 drivers you were having a punch-up with. But yeah, the 65 minis. Oh, every time. Oh, love them. Shorter courses, tighter courses, more drivers, people. You're listening, right? There's 9 people watching. You shouldn't be watching. Well, you should. Yeah, you know, you should. But there should be other 9 people going, I want to get me a steering wheel or a PlayStation pad and sign me up. The minis is awesome. They're great. I absolutely love them. Right. That's enough of that blurting and flapping about 1965 monies. There are results. Hatter squeezing the win. Dazzler also squeezing second. Janio third. Treviso not quite squeezing that final lap in fourth. Chalky fifth. Aldo sixth. RCMBE 2 in seventh. Old Crawler in eighth. Bajonski in ninth. Yeah, I'm assuming you got it round turn 1. Because a lot of drivers were carrying an awful lot of speed around that first corner, running themselves out wide, or going for those sneaky shortcuts through the chicanes and the bus stops, which, you know, that's never gonna wash, is it? Taking a straight line through some of those areas. Right, race 1 done. We jump into race 2 now. Reverse grid, rolling start. DSC Broadcasting, help me out. Whoa, there we go. It's not a drift comp, right? Regardless of what you've just watched on screen. So we jump into the 2005 Mini Coopers now. So it is minis throughout the night. It's going to be a 15-minute race here. Same circuit we've just raced on. Now this could be a little bit of fun actually. This track could suit these minis really, really well. They'll obviously carry a lot more speed than those 1965 minis. They're still a hell of a lot heavier, and as you can see, this, although it's a nice wide track, it could catch some of these cars out hitting the chicanes and the bus stops and running wide through that turn 1 with that extra speed. And then we jump into race 3 after this, where again it's a reverse grid and it's the bigger full track. Dan, evening. But I will not buy a PlayStation. I am watching just on TV in bed, so not really. I think, yeah, the minis, like I say, minis always is. Are you an Xbox man? Are you, Dan? Is that what it is? Are you one of these people that can't do PlayStation? Is that what it is? Well, I'm not an Xbox fan at all. From the very first day it came out. Because the pad is not fit for humans. So, everyone in the right car? Let's not have a 1965 Mini rolling around with the 2005s. He won't stand a chance. Let's have a little look at these things, shall we then? So that's what we're going to be rolling about in for race 2. Oh, don't even think we're going to get to have a look. Race 2 just about to start, so we'll stay in this view because it means I won't have to turn all the junk on again when we get transferred into the actual race. Hatter going for the full bronze. Surprised he not change that to gold for this race. Crawler finding another penalty. Here we go then, race 2. 15 minutes here then at Watkins Glen short course. Oh no, hey, what you changed? What you changed? I thought that was it. Oh, see, you've got to put my junk on again. Again, it's not just about the racing, you know. You look at the sort of amount of time that people spend putting liveries on cars. It's not quite as easy and simple as people think. Hey, look at that! Oh, don't look at that! Don't look at that. Yes, rolling start for race 2 then. Podjonsky, being as he finished, we can hardly see them, being as he finished last. He will start race 2. Again, rolling start. It does just break the cars up a little bit just to keep them out of any kind of chaos, because obviously you have faster drivers at the back trying to get through the slower drivers in essence at the front. We don't want any dive bombs from the faster boys. We don't want any early braking causing chaos either. Here we go then. The lights drop. Podjonsky peels us away. Everyone's going to start tucking themselves over to try and get the toe down here. Will mean it'll take a little bit of time for the cars to bunch up. We'll see how they get on as well when they hit these bus stops. Still carrying a little bit too much speed around turn 1. Dominator also entering race 2, so I think Dominator, one of the drivers that has got the 1965 Mini but with the wide body kit on, which means it handles better or drives faster or something, so it's a little bit too powerful. So he's had to sit race 1 out. Where's Faithless Emo? Damn it! We're Faithless. I'm calling you out, Faithless. Whoa. Yeah, they're getting a little bit hairy through that bus stop. Again, just got to be careful of running all 4 tyres across the lines here. Pick up little penalties all over the place. Old Crawler coming under threat then. RCMB2 having a look at the inside through this left-hander. Not quite able to hold on to that one. Ooh, Old Crawler gets pushed off. No, he doesn't get pushed off. He drove off wide. There was no contact between the two of them. Loses a little bit of speed. RCMB2 comes through then. Oh, he has picked up a penalty. There you go. All 4 wheels off that race circuit. It deems it as you taking a shortcut. Pick up that penalty then. Podjonsky gains a little bit of an advantage through there. His Mini's getting a little bit loose through that turn 1. Again, running out wide there. Podjonsky with a 1.4 second lead over Chalky, who just dives up the inside of RCMB2 through turn 1. Old Crawler still hanging on in there right behind RCMB2 with that 1.5 second penalty. Unfortunately, that's going to put a great big dent in his race. While all these drivers are so close together, Aldo and RCMBE2 and Janio all looking to try and get past. Old Crawler's trying to hang on to it. RCMBE2 fires up the inside. Oh, but he's got the exit of the bus stop far too wrong. Carried way too much speed through that second part of the corner. He now picks up a penalty. Travels a little bit slower. These boys all bumper to bumper actually still. Look at this. Oh, look at this. 3 wide still here. Oh, sideways action from RCMB2. Nobody off track though. Absolutely bonkers driving. Old Crawler in 9th. Dominator trying to hang on to the back of the pack at the minute. Just 0.9 of a second back. A few drivers picking up penalties. Pajonski still 1.4 seconds up the road. Slinging this Mini into this corner. Look at this. Absolutely firing these Minis into turn 1. Rear ends just let go on these things. Love it. Starting to open up a little bit here. A couple of penalties to lose on this lap as well. Hattelad into 6th then from the back of the pack. Dazzler 7th, but with a second penalty. RCMB 2 in 8th. He's also got himself a penalty, but a full 2 seconds. That's going to allow Old Crawler to get past easily. Dominator might even be able to pull that one back as well. Look how loose they are. Look, let's lose that off track. That Dazzler again. Coming up to that penalty zone. He just picks up another half a second penalty there, so he'll probably only lose that full second. Oh no, no, Dazzler, no. I think he was just swerving across track just to try and keep that car out of the way of some of the faster drivers, and it let go of him. Into the wall he's gone, what a shame. Right, back up front then, Pajonski losing a little bit of time. That gap's gone from 1.4 down to a full second. Here we go then, into turn 1, throwing these Minis in. Aldo Driftertron in it. So some gaps starting to open up, but there are still 1 or 2 drivers close enough to go for moves here. Dazzler unfortunately got a long way to go. 5 minutes into race 1 here then. Pajonski leads, still got that full second. Chalky in second, trying to close that gap up. Not as close as they were in race 1, that's for sure. Not at the moment anyway. Janio in 3rd. A little bit of a punch up for 4th here. Oh, Hatter gets a swap on. Hatter gets a swap on going through the bus stop. And still got a bit of a swap on coming out of the bus stop. Come on, Hatter. You're fighting a cat at home. What's going on? Sorts of threat then from Aldo. Won't lose that penalty this lap. He'll have to hold on to that for another one. So maybe dirty tyres giving Hatter the swap and the exit of that bus stop. Now Aldo pushing on the exit. Gets himself back in the slipstream. No threat from behind. There's a little cheeky look up the inside at turn 1. You can see how much they have to sling these cars in. They are loose still, these 2005 Minis. He loses a bit of time through there though. Hatter starting to close back up on Treviso through there. He's got to lose that penalty though. Again, that's going to be a great big dent. Old Crawler with a penalty. Look at this, penalties everywhere. RCMB 2 clear at the minute, but in 8th. Dominator at 1.5 on board for him. Dazzler from 10 seconds down, he's down to 7.7, so he's starting to pull a little bit of time back. There are the other drivers just in front. Just going into the bus stop now, so still opportunities for positions for Dazzler if he can get himself back involved. So Chalky leads. Janio in 2nd. Treviso in 3rd. Aldo 4th. Pajonski down to 5th then. He's got it all wrong somewhere. Hattelad in 6th, all over the back of him. RCMB 2 in 7th. Old Crawler in 8th. Dominator in 9th. And there is Dazzler just in the background, 4.2 seconds back. Chalky and Janio then pulled away from everybody else at the minute. Just a quarter of a, 3/4 of a second in it between these two. to the bus stop. It does seem to have caught a couple of drivers out here. Seems if you get Treviso taking liberties, almost taking that same line that we saw earlier through there. Aldo in fourth, under pressure here from Pajonski and Hatter. Bit of racing from these boys at the minute. I see MBE2 having a little race of his own, as is Old Crawler. There is Dominator. Dazzler doing everything he can to close that gap back up as well. 3.3 seconds back. We've still got 6 minutes, so we are just at 9 minutes then. And we've got a 15-minute race here at Watkins Glen short course. It's now Janio into the lead of the race, Chalky in second, Treviso third, so still position swapping. It's the Anime Master rolling around up front at the minute. Chalky hanging on to him, Treviso trying to close that gap down, 2.3 seconds back at the minute. Pajonski's pulled a little bit of a gap away from the battle behind. Aldo's made a mistake then. That's allowed Pajonski and Hatterlad to have a go, but Hatter's got to lose this penalty. Hill goes down, Aldo goes through, and Hatter will drop himself back into the slipstream, but stay involved in this fight. Won't lose too much time coming into this turn. MBE2 then with something to chase now. Just 1.5 seconds behind Hatter. Crawler and Dominator. Big gaps between themselves and anybody else in front, but Dazzler is still closing up on Dominator from behind. That gap down to 2.5 seconds. Slowly but surely for Dominator. For Dazzler. Comfortably out front at the minute for these two. 3 seconds ahead of Treviso. Not close enough to have a go at each other either at the minute. Cleanly through there. Treviso gets a better line through there this time. Pajonski starting to close up on him. Oh, Aldo goes a little bit wide through there. Hatter has a look up the inside, but Aldo cuts across back, across the apex there. Cuts that line off for Hatter. Hatter might have a run on him down here into this left-hander at the bottom. There he goes. Has he carried too much speed? No, he manages to keep it on track. Aldo closes back up on him down into this final turn. Hatter keeps it out of the wall, keeps the power down as well. Aldo not able to regain that position. There is RCMBE2 closing upon these two as well. There, I think that's where everyone's picking up penalties. Again, it could be this this bus stop coming up. Field starting to stretch open a little bit now then. 12 minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. Yeah, it seems to me if they get the entrance into that chicane a little bit wrong, into that bus stop a little bit wrong, it can just really mess up the exit. Swap the car back onto the grass, and then before you know it, you've picked yourself up a great big 1 or 2 second penalty or something. So these two still about 3/4 of a second in it between them, although that's just opening up a little bit now. Treviso loses another half a second to those two. Johnsky not able to close up. Hattelad with another half a second penalty here. Just looks like one of those tracks that is going to become synonymous with picking up penalties. There's always those chicanes and the bus stops. MBE2 having a little look at Aldo then into the bus stop. Oh, tries to get a wing up the inside, but he's taken completely the wrong line, as has Bajonski through there. We just see him peeling himself out the wall. Bajonski's got it totally wrong then. RCMBE2's got it totally wrong. Dazzler's already made his way past Dominator, so takes that position. Ooh. And also gets past Old Crawler. Also gets past RCMBE2. What happened to Bajonski? He looks to come back at Old Crawler, get a position back at least. Again, did he just get the way into that chicane a little bit wrong? If you do, it can just spit the rear of these minis round, and that's it. You'll end up in one wall or another. So Janio stretches his lead to 1.3 seconds then. We've got 30 seconds left on the race clock, so this will be the last lap for everybody. Janio's just not got to put it in the wall in these next few turns. Drivers comfortably through there, loses a little bit of time, but he's not overly fussed. He's got enough time to play with. He can take his time through things like that bus stop, knowing he can keep that car pointing in the right direction, rather than having to have a little bit of a flap and then have chalky all over his rear end as he comes around this corner perhaps. It has been a well fought battle for Janio. He's had a damn good punch up with a few drivers. Managed to get his way into the front of this pack though, and comfortably across the line then. 1.4 seconds into the lead then. Janio takes the win. Chalky comes home in second. Treviso takes third position. Hattelad fourth. Aldo coming in fifth. Johnsky in sixth. Did manage to hold that position over Old Crawler. Old Crawler in seventh then. Dazzler in 8th, RCMBE2 in 9th, DMK Dominator 9.6 seconds back in 10th. There it is, race 2, done and dusted. Look at that, milk tray overalls for Janio. Official results for race 2 then. There he is on that top spot. Janio, Chalky in second, Treviso in third, Hatter fourth, Aldo fifth, Bajonski in sixth, Old Crawler seventh, Dazzler in 8th, RCMBE2 in 9th, and Dominator in 10th. Oh, don't leave the lobby, don't leave the lobby. So we go into race 3. So it's another reverse grid. Is it another rolling start? I think it's another rolling start for race 3 as well. So we're in the new VGT Mini, which you'll start to see popping up on that right hand side column. You can see the 2005 Mini slowly disappearing. So it's going to be a 20-minute race now for race 3. We go to the longer circuit as well. So you see the Watkins Glen, it'll open up into all sorts of extra chaos. Extra chaos. Yeah, just about right, the short course for those 1965 Minis. And that's the plan throughout the season. So each round will have the shorter, faster, punchier courses for the smaller cars, and the slightly longer variations of those track for the the faster, bigger cars. So let's get a quick, oh no, not that, let's get a quick look at these minis before the race kicks off. This is what we'll be in for race 3. A little bit snazzier. Sound a little bit beefier than the 1965 minis, that's for sure. So someone needs to tell me if that's exhausts there, or there. And if it's not exhausts, why has he got 2 fuel fillers? Never pass an MOT. Can we get an internal view on these things? No, no inside view. Boring. I think are these the concept cars or something like that? If they are concept cars, then that's probably why, because they've only designed the outside and not the inside. That can't be right. What happens if you want to drive it from the internal view? Won't give me internal view, that's for sure. There we go then, there's the longer variation of this track. So down that back straight we peel off to the left, do an almost hairpin, and then a little bit of a straight. I think that's a hairpin down a hill as well, then back up another hill, a little bit of a right hand elbow into a left hand elbow, and then into those last couple of corners as we have had already. So let's see. See where the track changes. Not yet, that's for sure. So there's the bus stop. You can see them carrying a fair bit more speed through there. Around this same turn, but instead of going straight round there, we go down to the left here. Left hand elbow running down the hill again. Just got to be careful they don't lose traction as well with these downhill angles. And into this hairpin at the bottom. Again, just a great big catch berm. But it's got to be putting the pressure on the drivers as they're coming out of that. Trying to hang on to the grip. A little bit of a straight then, again just over the brow of the hill, and then it drops off again into another almost hairpin, this thing. Onto the same bit of circuit we were on in race 2 or race 1, through this pretty fast left-hander, and then the final turn. And there we go. There's the differences between short course and the long course. Not too much, but will make a difference in these faster cars for sure. Again, really interesting to see how much speed they can carry through that bus stop. Anyone see what the top speed was in the 2005 minis? I wasn't watching, it was about 80 something miles an hour in the 1965, but we're pushing 154s, 155s coming into that. So just having to back off the throttle. Get the power down a little bit earlier coming out of that turn, because you know you've not got to get all the way around that corner. You can you slowly peel off to this one. So the call for race 3 then just coming up in the chat. Again, another rolling start for race 3. hear the beeps. We won't see the lights, but you'll hear the beeps, and then you'll see everyone peeling over, trying to get any kind of slipstream down this straight. It's not too long before the turn 1, so there you go. Everyone slots over, looking for any kind of tow. Dominator's drifting already. Everyone's managed to get through turn 1 cleanly so far. And it is RCMBE2 that leads. Dazzler is all over the back of Dominator though. Oh, he's into the wall coming up there though. Oh, Crawler as well, getting it a little bit wrong. Him and Dazzler running a little bit out of speed. Bajonski's trying to get up the inside before the bus stop, and does so. Dazzler looking for a shortcut through there. He's trying to avoid drivers as well coming through. Might end up picking a penalty up because of that. There you go, Dazzler. So again, it just deems it as a shortcut, even though I'm sure he didn't mean to do it. These minis still got a bit of a drifter-tron going on around these corners. Johnson's got it wrong through there. He now ends up at the back of the pack. Swapping all over the place. It's not one of the most popular cars I've seen raced on this game, so maybe not a lot of drivers have had much practice in it, although they should have got plenty last week. RCMBE2 then leads 2.1 seconds over Aldo. Aldo got just about a second over Old Crawler. He's having to fend off Hatterlad and Treviso at the minute. Oof, who was that? Dominator running it out wide through there. It's allowed Jania and Chalky to come through. Dominic gets pushed down to 8th position then. Dazzler in 9th, and Bajonski, who's just got it wrong himself, down in 10th. Look at this. Still about 2-second lead for RCME2. They are still having to throw these minis into turn 1. Then and Treviso side by side. Treviso's managed to pull that gap. Hatter into 4th then. Coming up towards that bus stop, he's going to see the brakes on from everybody. Great bit of driving, just everyone anticipating the braking, letting off a tiny bit early. Oh, Hatterlad gets a bit of a wobble on through there. Has he got away with it without a penalty? Any second if he's picked one up. He's got away with it. He's able to carry a little bit more speed through there, but has to back off on the exit. Time we're chasing down Aldo, but Aldo's got a penalty he's got to lose. Look at this, Treviso almost pushing him around that turn. Penalty zone in a different place here. There goes Aldo, then Hatter takes that position. Janio's going to get past him as well. Now Treviso into 2nd, but look at the gap in front to RCMBE2, 3.6 seconds. Come on, he went too far on the cameras. So having a nice bit of a relaxed drive at the minute for RCMBE2. These boys on the other hand, not only are they trying to chase down that top spot, they're battling each other for those positions, which is all working out in RCMBE2's favour at the minute. Hatter and Treviso side by side again down here. Treviso still with the advantage. Hatter chuck one back up the inside on the exit of this turn. Needs to run down towards the bus stop. Janio squeezed his way through to 4th position as well already from the front, from the back of the pack from the results of race 2. Aldo in 5th then, Chalky 6th, Old Crawler in 7th. He's got a little bit of a penalty to lose himself. Dominator there in 8th, Dazzler with a penalty to lose in 9th, and Bajonski in 10th. So gaps opening up at the back. And still gaps opening up at the front, 3.8 seconds up front. Hatter and Treviso still battling for that 2nd position. It's just allowing RCMBE2 to drive off Janio now involved in that fight as well. Shouldn't be too long if they carry on like that before Chalky's involved. Treviso getting that one wrong. A lot of tyre squeal coming around that corner. That's slowed him down a little bit. Put him under pressure from Janio coming down towards this right hand elbow. Keep having a punch up, that's all he'll be thinking about. Let RCMBE2 get a start finish straight away from you lot, and you'll never even realise he's on track. Oof, gets a little bit of a wobble on through there, does RCMBE2, loses a couple of tenths, not too much at the minute, so still not under direct threat. Boys carrying all the speed through that turn. That gap is coming down rapidly. It was 3.4, it's down to 2.6. There it is, you can see it visibly close up. Through the bus stop for RCMBE2 then. Here comes Hatter. Chased by Treviso and Janio. It's gone full anime on the VGT Mini as well. Chalky in 5th. Still got Aldo for company in 6th, just 1.2 seconds back. Not quite within tow range, but shouldn't be too long. Old Crawler in 7th, Dominator 8th, Dazzler closing up on him a little bit. No penalties now at the back of the pack. Pajonski as well closing back up on the field. Look at all that time that RCMBE2 had diminished from 3.4 seconds, 3.5 seconds down to 1.8. 7 minutes in. It's going to become a four-way battle. They are slowly closing up on RCMBE2. I think they're still pulling away from Chalky. Yeah, he's 2.5 seconds behind. Aldo loses a couple of tenths to him as well. Old Crawler, Dominator and Dazzler all getting a little bit close. There's Pajonski just in the background as well. Still not out of it either. 1.6 seconds back for him. Now the question is, how long can RCMBE2 hold this lead? I'm not saying he's going to lose it, but those boys have managed to drag that time down. Now they've managed to get a sort of tiny bit of breathing room between themselves. It's just given them the opportunity to put in some sort of fast laps to try and close these gaps down, and it's working. It's working. Hatter then just 0.8 of a second behind him. Treviso just 0.6 of a second behind Hatter. Janio just outside that tow range at the minute with a second. Needs a couple of good corners. Again, he's just losing a little bit more time then, 1.2 behind. Still under no threat from Chalky at the minute, 2.5 seconds back for him. Ever closer to this man. Start and finish straight. Hatter getting a good exit out of that turn. You can see that Mini getting ever so slightly bigger. Won't get him before turn 1, but he'll be all over the back of him by the time they hit the bus stop. Might even be before that. Here we go. RCMBE2 then just having to take his foot off the power going through turn 1 so he didn't run it wide, and that's just given Hatter the run on him and through these chicanes up the hill into First he goes, then RCMBE2 slowly pulls back on him using the slipstream. Treviso not out of this fight either, just 0.6 of a second back. Oh, Hatter gets sideways through there. And again picks up that second penalty. Look at that, there is Treviso. Out of nowhere comes through there. He must have gone through that chicane like an absolute maniac. Yeah, they're still having to get these things a little bit loose. So we'll go round this corner, up the hill, and there'll be a penalty zone waiting for Hatterlad here. You'll see Treviso, RCMBE2 file their way past. Here we go. Penalty loss then for Hatter. Oh, gets himself back up to speed and braked right into slipstream range of RCMBE2, so he could have himself back into second or first here if he can hang on to these two. But it is now Treviso that leads this race. RCMBE2 in second, Hatterlad now third, Janio fourth. He's fallen way off the pace now, 2.1 seconds back. Another mistake possibly, or maybe a penalty to lose, because that's allowed Chalky to close up on him. He was 2.5 seconds behind, he's now only a second back. 5.3 seconds back for Aldo. He's got another 5.9 back to Pajonski in seventh, who has made up a couple of positions but picked himself up half a second penalty. Old Crawler in eighth, Dazzler right behind him in ninth, and Dominator in 10th. Dazzler having a look at Old Crawler up the inside through the right-hander. He's going to be on the outside, coming through the left. Oh, dips his car into the wall through there. That slowed him down again. And Old Crawler able to escape. So these three still bumper to bumper then. 12 minutes into race 3 here. RCMBE2 goes wide, carries too much speed through there, all four wheels on the grass. There you go, it's deemed as a penalty. He's had to slam the brakes on. Oh, there's a little bit of contact between him and Hatter as they come into that corner. Just trying to carry the speed after getting that corner all wrong. Tries to slam the brakes on to get himself stopped, but the dirty tyres has cost him half a second and a shunt into the back of Hatter. Unfortunately, Hatter has also gained half a second penalty. So these two are going to fall way off the pace of Treviso that they already have done. 2.2 seconds lead now then for him. Hatter in second, RCMBE2 in third. These drivers have both got to lose a half a second penalty, which does actually equate to about a second. That's going to bring Janio right into the mix. That's going to bring Chalky back into the fight here. Aldo also with a 1 second penalty. He should be okay for that one. Pajonski far enough back that he won't get overtaken. Dazzler does finally get himself past Old Crawler, does he? For the time being. Old Crawler's not messing about though. Piling some pressure on some of these drivers in the minis. All over the back of Dazzler then up towards these bus stops. Cheeky look, trying to hopefully set Dazzler up for something. It's not worked out yet though. Oh, Dominator with a full second penalty as well. So Treviso's going to end up with a great big gap any second now, as he hasn't got a penalty. Whereas these two lose their penalty. There goes Hatterlad, loses his penalty. RCMBE2 loses his penalty. Here comes Janio into the mix, just as I said he would. There is Chalky getting himself involved as well. Hatter seemed to benefit the most out of that, to be honest. He did only actually lose about half a second to Treviso in front, but he gained about a full second over RCMBE2. It's now him that's got to fend off these two drivers behind of Janio and Chalky. starts to get dark here at Watkins Glen. Could change things up a little bit here as well. RCMBE2 gets that turn wrong. Janio able to carry the speed through. Gets himself into third. Chalky not able to carry the speed up. Oof, RCMBE2 trying to get back up the inside of Chalky. Janio. It's only cost him more positions as Chalky goes through now. So the battle up front slowly diminishing. Treviso 2.6 second lead. Hatter. Oh, Hatter, there you go. Has he got a... has he? Yes, he has. Half a second penalty. So again, no contact. He's not near anybody else on circuit, but just coming into that chicane a little bit too fast, a little bit too the wrong angle. And that's the results. Half a second he's got to lose then. Got a great big gap between himself and Janio, so should be okay for that position. Slinging it into the hairpin then for Janio. Chalky following him through. Both drivers getting that one wrong though. The handbrake obviously not working. Full second for you. Full second for Janio. RCMBE2 behind. Oh, drifts it through that turn. Loses his penalty now. Picks up another one. It's as easy as that. Aldo 6th then. Dazzler into 7th. Old Crawler 8th. Bajonski back down to 9th. And Dominator in 10th. Drivers all over the place in terms of track position tonight. 3 minutes remaining then on lap 10 here of this final race of the evening. 20 minutes here at Watkins Glen long course. Or is it just Watkins Glen and the other one's just a short course? I don't know. Nice and safe at the minute for Treviso. 3.5 seconds lead over Hatter. Again, it's this bus stop that catches everyone out. You've just got to get a wheel in the wrong position coming through a couple of these curbs. Oof, just almost like that, Hatter. Oh, you spawn burglar. He's got away with it this time. Janio's not. He's found himself with a full second he's got to lose. Chalky's right behind him also with a full second. RCMBE2 with half a second, so these three are all going to come back together any second when they get round this hairpin at the bottom of the hill. I don't know, RCMBE2 is a little bit too far back, maybe 2.7 seconds behind those two in front. Chalky having a bit of a battle going into that one. And RCMBE2 does gain a second on them. Those two still side by side and battling out for these positions that could work out in RCMBE2's favour. Not at the minute, but we'll come back and have a look at that. So 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Treviso with a full 3 seconds over Hatter. He has managed to pull a little bit of time back here, Hatter. Stretching the limits of the track though, my friend. Stretching the limits of the track. You've got to be so careful you don't pick up another penalty. Getting turn one a little bit wrong. Loses 3/10 to Treviso. Chalky and Janio still battling it out here for 3rd and 4th. Janio almost taking out a bit of wall. I think RCMBE2 almost coming through there as well and taking out a bit of wall. Chalky and Janio falling a little bit further apart. ME2 still too far back to make any positions on these boys. this is going to become final lap, I think. It is. They've only got 10 seconds left on the race timer, and they've got a few corners remaining. Treviso easily going to win as long as he can keep it pointing in the right direction. He's got no other tricky corners to go, really. Hatter in second. Did everything he could, but it is going to be this man that takes the win here in race 3. The obvious Wolverhampton Wanderers fan. There he goes then, down towards the line to take the win here in race 3. Treviso takes it. Hatter comes home in second position. We see Chalky does manage to keep himself ahead of Janio in third. Janio takes fourth. RCMBE2 comes home in fifth. Aldo takes sixth. Dazzler comes home in seventh. Almost gets the decent hairpin handbrake through there. Pajonski's going to come home in 8th. Old Crawler is going to take 9th. And there's Dominator, not too far back actually. It's 4.7 seconds in the end in 10th. Whoa, the minis. VGTs are a little bit different. They're almost just like GT3s or GT4 cars. They don't excite me as much as the 65s. The 65s are always a little bit chaotic and loose, and because they're so small, they can just look. There's 0.5 millimeters worth of gap there. I'm going to stick my car in it. Yeah, that's why I like the 65s, because you could see you could get sort of 4 wide at points. Just, you know, it's going to end up in chaos at some point, and it usually does in those little ones. So yeah, that's why I like the little 65 minis. But there he is, Treviso, the Ital System logo smashed on his overalls. And there it is, round 2 done and dusted of DSC's Mini Martini League. So what have we got coming up? Nothing on Friday. I should be doing the GTTCC final round, but unfortunately I'm not here, so I'll be picking that up Saturday if somebody remembers to record the race. So I'll be picking that up Saturday and doing that as a post race. Unfortunately no lives for the finals, never mind. So I'll be doing that, and then Sunday night we've got the next round of the P1 boys and their Renault Megane League, at the same time, same place next week for round 3 of this. We've got a new Supercar League coming up with the P1 boys. I think that's either next week or the week after. I'll have to confirm dates on that. But yeah, I've still got the Renault Meganes running, the final round of the GTTCC, which will be a Saturday post race. And then yeah, 8:30, same time, same place next week here for more mini mayhem. Again, they're so good. They're so good. They're just loose, the whole thing. But yeah, that's. I hope you've liked what you've watched, people. If you have, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. All the usual sort of stuff. But you know what I want you to do most of all is tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.